Hey guys, what's going on? Long time no see. Hey, I wanted to apologize for this fall. I didn't do near the filming that I wanted to. It seemed like it was just a battle this entire fall trying to get this crop out. Between the rain and just everything else, had that major breakdown there at the end of harvest for those of you that follow me on TikTok. It was a battle, and I didn't take the time to do it. And I'm not saying that's right or wrong, but you know, it takes a lot of time when you go filming all that stuff, stopping, setting the camera up, going back, picking it up. You know, it adds several steps and a lot of time in a day, and I just didn't do it. And I'm probably fortunate that I didn't, because I mean, we came down to the wire on getting the work done that we got done, and we didn't even get it all done, to be honest with you. We left, there's 100 acres in the river bottom that did not get chiseled, and there's probably, 200 acres of anhydrous that we didn't get on. I did get a little bit more on last night. It's raining now. Today's December 10th, I think. Got the co-op in there with 2 tractors, and they got another 170 acres on for me yesterday. And it was borderline. But yeah, we've just seemed like we've been fighting this for months. Well, I mean, heck, harvest started, September 20th or thereabouts, you know, and here we are the 10th of December and still trying to do stuff. And so it was just a battle. I mean, I'm not making excuses. It is what it is. But, you know, at the end of the day, YouTube don't pay the bills. The farm does. And, you know, I enjoy making videos and whatnot, but, you know, I'm not going to let it jeopardize the farm either. So it is what it is. But, you know, Kevin bought that new piece of ground this summer, and it lays really wet. And the farmer that was farming it, when he cut the beans, he just rutted the piss out of it on one end of the field. And it never would dry. And after he cut the ruts, you know, it was just standing full of water. And we went in with a ditcher and tried to ditch it. And luckily, earlier this week, I think on Tuesday it was, sometime in there, it finally got down to like 18 degrees, and then the following day it didn't get above freezing. So it worked out nice. It had about an inch of crust on it. We was able to get in there and chisel the whole field. It really worked nice, actually. So that we were fortunate to get that done, because I mean, it was going to be a mess if we didn't get something done with it. And you know, originally our plan was to plant wheat on that farm this fall, but it was just too wet to even plant wheat. A lot of guys didn't get as much planted as what they wanted. You know, there's a little bit of wheat in the area, but I don't think near as much as what guys wanted to get done. So yeah, it was a battle. We were glad to be done. We're busy hauling grain now. Got the co-op bringing in semis and trying to get a bunch of stuff hauled out. But yeah, it's been quite the fall, I tell you. Don't really care to have another one like this for quite some time. Now the yields were good this year and the prices were good, so that was nice. But man, inputs for next year are just through the roof. We was wanting to get the rest of this anhydrous on. We booked ours back, I don't remember when that was now, sometime probably in October. Got the anhydrous locked in at $840 a ton, and that's good till December 31st. And if you don't get it on, then it's going to jump to between $1,500 and $1,600 a ton. So there might be a little bit that we don't get. Of course, the river bottom, we don't put that on in the fall anyway. I mean, obviously it's a floodplain, but you know, the upland, I lacked about, 70 acres, or just a hair between 70 and 80 acres of getting all my upland on. I think Kevin had 60 or 70 that he didn't get on. So overall, we're thankful for what we did get on. Would have liked to got everything else on, but we didn't. So it is what it is. And like I say, we didn't get that river bottom chisel plowed either, which that's not the end of the world. Would have maybe liked to got it done, but it is what it is. That's nothing major. It's bean stubble, so you know, yeah, I'd be a lot more concerned if it was in corn stalks, but being bean stubble, that's no big deal. So anyway, I did want to touch base with some of you guys. I don't know who on here follows me on TikTok as well, so forgive me if I keep bringing up TikTok, but I did want to touch base with some of you guys. I've been getting a lot of messages over there asking what happened to the podcast, you know, why did we quit doing it or whatever. And actually we haven't. The simple answer there is I was sick for 3 weeks to a month in there. Couldn't hardly do nothing. And about the time I got over it, Nick ended up kind of getting sick a little bit and whatnot. And, you know, with kids' ball games and everything, you throw all that in the mix, and we just simply haven't had time. And when we was kind of fighting the sickness. We're like, everybody just stay away from each other. We don't need to be spreading it. So we just kind of all scattered and have done it that way. But no, the podcast is still a go, still fully intend to do it. We just simply had to take a little break here to get through all this sickness and get our schedules back on the right track, and then it'll be coming again. So hopefully, we get one of these cold winter days. Maybe him and I can start Saturday at noon and shoot 5, 6, 7 episodes or something, and have several racked and stacked in the queue, ready for you guys, and we can just drop them as we need to or whatever. So no, don't worry. For those of you that were, the podcast ain't going anywhere. We fully intend to keep doing it. So I also want to let everybody know that follows me over there. Been talking about this farm tour. That's going to kick off this coming Monday. I'm heading to Iowa. I don't want to give out any details just yet. I kind of want it to be a surprise. I think you guys are going to like what you see. And maybe I'll explain for those of you who's not on TikTok. I'll kind of give you a little setup as to how all this started. It was back probably in May or June. A lot of us on that app, we post a lot of farm stuff, what we're doing. And I don't know where it ever originated or what, but and it wasn't just me. We was all getting, there was these city people on there that was just arguing to the point that the government was paying farmers to destroy their crops. And we kept arguing with them. We're like, no, they're not. I mean, at least not in our area. I don't know if they're doing something goofy in California or somewhere, but I can assure you here in the Midwest where we're at, they are not paying farmers to destroy their crops. And these people just wanted to argue. I mean, yes, they are. I know a friend of my cousin and they're paying him. And it's like, whatever, But it finally got out of control. I mean, they were just hounding everybody. And so it was during wheat harvest, and I wasn't the only one who done this. I mean, there was several of us, but when I was cutting wheat, I just made a TikTok video and said, okay, fine, you guys caught us, we're destroying crops. And, it was a dead wheat field, obviously. It was ripe, we was cutting it. And there was a cornfield, of course, being July, corn was still green as grass. And I made this big story up, that look, the crop's green over there, but this one's dead. And, yeah, they paid us to destroy it and this and that. And, we were trying to make this stuff so over the top ridiculous that nobody would believe it. Well, just the opposite happened. And I mean, these people took this stuff and just started running with it. Had news organizations all over the U.S. calling us, wanting to do interviews. And it's just like, whatever, it just got dumb. And so, we was all laughing at some of these city people. And the bad part is you've got a group of city people over here that truly don't know, but they're good people. They're not out here telling you that, you're doing this wrong and that wrong and organic this and that. They're not nothing like that. They're good people. They just simply don't know anything about farming and they want to learn. And then you got the crazies over here that, just know everything, but they've never been out of the city, but yet you're doing it wrong. And you know how it goes. I ain't got to tell you guys. So you got these two aspects of people. And so, we all got to making videos laughing at city people and just saying all kinds of nasty stuff to them and whatever. And as I got to thinking about that, and some of us kind of got to talking about it, it's like, that's not really a fair shake what we did there, lumping that whole group of people together and laughing at all of them, because you really did have this group over here that just simply don't know. And it's easy to be in that situation. You don't know what you don't know. And, it wouldn't be no different if you told me to go do, I don't know, pump oil out of the ground. I mean, I don't know how to do that. I've never been around it. So, and that's the same way they are with farming. They've just simply never been around it. Nobody's taught them anything about it. So they just don't know. And so we got to talking, that's not really right to lump them people together. So I'm actually taking off on a tour of, basically anywhere in the U.S. I'm going to go around and kind of showcase some of these different farms, obviously in the off season. I mean, I'm not quitting farming to go do this or nothing, It's just something we're going to go do to try to help maybe bridge the gap a little bit for the people who genuinely do want to know. They're not there to nitpick you and tell you how you're doing it wrong. They just simply want to know. And so we're going to see if we can't get some stuff out there to help educate everybody, because it's not a fair shake when you take a guy like me, lived in Illinois my entire life, and sure, I can raise corn, soybeans, and wheat as good as anybody. But if you take me to Texas and drop me in a cotton field and say, go raise me a crop of cotton, I'm lost. I can't do it because I don't know how. So where do I get off laughing at these people who don't know when I'm in the industry and I don't know the other segment? So, you know, it's probably not right that we done that. And, you know, so we want to try to bridge that gap. I mean, I think that's all we can do. And I think these lobby groups, your Farm Bureau, pork producers, some of the cattle groups have done an absolutely horrendous job of trying to educate these people on how things really work. And they've done all of us a major disservice. And I'm about ready to quit any of these organizations that I give money to, because they're not doing us any good. They got all kinds of money to go to Chicago, to go to meetings and wine and dine and do all this stuff, but they don't have enough money to help American farmers. They're not calling out any of this stuff, the price gouging that's going on, whether it's in the cattle industry, you know, price fixing. They've already proved that. You know, don't you find it ironic that the price of fertilizer is through the roof right now? And I mean, they're not saying a word about it in any of, you know, I mean, yeah, their headline will read that, you know, inputs are up for 2022. Well, no shit. I mean, you didn't have to tell me that. But they're not digging any deeper to finding out what's going on. And they've done all of us a disservice, and I'm getting tired of it. But it just pisses me off that all those lobby groups, you know, they'll come out here to our rural community that's 400 people, that 90% of the kids that go to that school are tied to a farm in some way, and they're wanting to educate them about farming. It's like, what are you doing? Those kids live on farms. They don't need education. Their mom and dad are teaching them all of it. They live it every day. Go to Chicago or wherever, I don't care, pick a city, and teach those kids. They don't know the difference between a hog and a cow and a tractor and a combine, none of that. Take the resources up there where we need it. It's mind-boggling to me the way that they do this stuff. You know, and then they'll go into these cities and they'll take a picture of a couple of flowers and a couple of broccoli plants and let them color them. And they're like, oh, yeah, you know how a farm works. No, you don't. You got to teach the real things. I'm sick of everybody hiding behind all this taboo stuff, and they don't want to talk about farm chemicals, and they don't want to show the inside of a hog building, and they don't want to do this, this, and this. And to me, that's why you get to where you are now. You know, I understand whether it's, I'm only going to use Smithfield for an example, because that's just one of the big hog producers. I don't care if it's Tyson. I'm not picking on Smithfield. I'm saying any of them. You know, they don't want to show the inside of a hog building because, well, that's just going to fuel PETA and this, that, and the other. Well, PETA only has power because it's stupid people that are in them organizations. Maybe if you educate these kids in the city when they're young, when they're older, they will know better and they won't go join organizations like PETA. You know, to me, that's the God's honest truth. They're only joining them organizations because they think that's the way that it works. They have never been taught that that is not correct. And I'm getting on my soapbox here. I need to quit rambling, but we want to try to bridge the gap in our own way. We want to keep things, down to earth, keep it kind of funny, keep it entertaining. And of course, I talk pretty rough on TikTok and even sometimes on this channel, but we don't want to do that on this other channel. We want to try to get everybody in on it, something that your kids can watch, And so we're going to give it a whirl. Not saying it's going to work. I don't know. I mean, I may go do some filming and put it on here and nobody watches it. I don't know. But we've got to change the direction that we're going as a whole. And I mean, I don't care if it's as a country or as an ag community or what. I mean, yeah. Once again, I'm not going to get on my soapbox. You guys know what I'm talking about. But so that's what we're going to do. I'm heading to Iowa this coming week. Going to do some filming up there. And I'm excited to show you guys what I'm going to do. You have to bear with me. It's going to be a few weeks before you guys actually see any of this footage. By the time we go and get it filmed, get home, get it edited, and get it out here for you guys to see. So don't give up on me. It's coming, but it's going to take some time, So I did want to throw that out there. If you don't see much on this channel now, it's because I'm out kind of gathering some footage and whatnot. So just kind of want to touch base with you guys, let you know I hadn't fell off the face of the earth or hadn't forgot about you or nothing. But that's kind of where we're at in the realm of things. If you are anywhere in the U.S., I don't care where you're at. If there's something you would like me to showcase, leave a comment below. If you want me to come to your farm, maybe you do something interesting that you would kind of like to show the world. Let me know. We're looking for ideas. For me personally, I'm trying to get away from, or not get away from, but, right out the gate, I'm not going to be showing many row crops in the Midwest, corn, beans, and wheat. I mean, I'm going to get to that eventually, but I want to try to get to a whole big, diverse group of stuff, you know, whether it's catfish farming, maybe a shrimp boat, you know, just any kind of food you could think of. It don't matter what it is. Would like to get out into Arizona, you know, check out some vegetable farming, because I don't know anything about any of that. California, you've got, you know, different trees, you know, your almonds and all that stuff to go see. Definitely want to get to the Pacific Northwest, where they farm on these humongous hillsides, you know, and check that out, raise wheat up there, you know. So, yeah, if there's anything that you would like to see or that you would want to show, be sure and let me know, and we'll see if we can get hooked up. I put a thing on TikTok about a month ago, and we had, well, last time I looked, there was over 1,000 replies of just anything and everything. So my wife went through and built a big spreadsheet with everybody's name on it, what state they're in, and kind of what they're into, you know, cattle, beef, you know, whatever. And so we had a lot of really neat replies on there. So hopefully we can kind of start making our rounds. Going to try to set this up where once I head a direction, I can make a big loop, you know, maybe make 5, 6, 7, 8 stops once I go, and just make a circle and then come back home, you know, save a lot of running back and forth. Some of this stuff I may have to go twice, you know, take for example Arizona, if they're raising lettuce. I have no idea how you plant lettuce, and I have no idea how you harvest lettuce. So I would like to be there on both ends of that spectrum and different stuff. So yeah, we're going to do some bouncing around. You know, if it gets a good reception, we'll keep going with it. If it don't, then, you know, we'll quit it and try to go do something else. So this is just kind of maybe some stuff that's coming up for 2022. We'll see how it works, and go from there is all we can do. So I just want to let you guys know I'm still alive and I haven't forgot about you. So thanks for tuning in, and keep an eye on this channel, because there's going to be some pretty exciting things coming. We'll